No, I'm not green. I thought that might be a bit too much. So today we are looking at the new orcs as well as the Troggoth king and his entourage. So I hope you enjoy that in this video. This is the new Ardboy Big Boss, and boy does he buff up Ardboys by giving a second rally as well as giving a +1 to their shield bashing. He really likes to improve upon the Ardboy models, and you'd want to take them with him. You'll be able to see his war scroll for yourself in either the Reign of the Brute book or the Iron Jaws Battle Tome supplement, both of which will be coming out soon after this video. The next character we have is Zoggrok Anvilsmasha with his adorable rock brow squig named Clonk, which you field with Zogrock as they count as a single model for rules purposes. There are 2 weapon options you want to choose from, the ward smashing chopper, which I chose, as well as the grunted tongs, which are literally a pair of large tongs. Other than that, there's only one way to build them, so you can leave his apron top and back armor off to paint his body first if you wish to. Next, we have the 10-man group of Orruk Ardboys. They have new sculpts and an updated war scroll, which includes a new weapon option, Ardboy stickers, which are long one-handed spear options, though I chose all of them to have the choppers. There are multiple ways to put these boys together, since the torso and legs are monopose, but the arms can be connected to any body, and the heads, which there are 2 extras of, can be attached to any body, and the shields can be attached to any of the shield arms. There is a champion option with 2 additional head options, with have 4 chin spikes instead of just 2, and his chopper is more axe-like than the others. And there is a standard bearer. We can pick between 2 different standards with no functional difference, but with 2 different looks. If you're looking to magnetize your weapon options between choppers and stickers, there is a fair bit of plastic to work with at the wrist, so as long as you're careful not to drill through the hand when creating the hole for your magnet, even if you're new to magnetizing, you'll be able to manage fine. Remember to match up the poles on every model so you can attach any hand to any boy without fuss. The only thing surprising about these with respect to assembly is that there is a mold line along the side of every one of them that you'll want to scrape away, either with a mold line remover like GW supplies, or just with the back of your hobby knife, something like that. I found it a little odd, since it's such a new model, to have a problem like that. Maybe it was just mine, but it's something to consider. Next is a model that could be built 3 different ways with 3 separate war scrolls. He can either be the hero model, Tuskboss gone Maw-Grunta, which has the Orruk with a bone helmet and the Maw-Grunta with plate armor on his face, or he can be built as this model, which is simply a Maw-Grunta with Hacken crew, or he could be built as a troop choice of Maw-Grunta Gougers, leaving off the crew orcs on his sides, which is the orc boss on top. You can magnetize the differences if you like, maybe by putting small magnets along the strap of the pig's face, so when his armor plating is removed, the magnets just blend in as studs on the leather and possibly the tusks. There's also an Army of Renowned option within the Reign of the Brute book called Grunta Stampede, where you only take these Maw-Gruntas and maybe 1 or 2 units of Gore-Gruntas to build an entire list. I did some calculations, and to make 2,000 points, you need, I think, 7 of these kits and a box of Gore-Gruntas, or give or take, to build that. One downside to that, though, would be that there is only one way to build the 3 different variants, so if you didn't want all of your units to look the same besides coloring perhaps, you would have to do a fair bit of cutting and gluing customization to that big old pig. So that was a bit of an odd choice, really, unless we'll be seeing more Maw-Grunta units in the future. There is a bit of a cleanup on the hog-to-hide join lines, but with several applications of extra thin plastic glue, that will go away to leave a fairly smooth finish. Next we have Weirdbrute Wrekkaz, or as I built them, the Brute Ragers. The Weirdbrute Wrekkaz are the ones specifically built with chain smashes, which are a spiked ball on chain weapon, and they have masks on. Whereas the Brute Ragers can have any of the weapon options. They are maskless. They can choose between chain smashes, mighty gore hackers, which is how I built them, and brute crushes, which are long flail-like weapons. Be sure to add a little more thin plastic glue at the shoulders and around the neck to remove join lines. These are monopose, besides the fact that you can change up the weapons that they're wielding. and add masks on, which there are 6 different masks and only 3 fellows to put the masks onto. Now here we have King Trugg of the Troggoths. In the book Reign of the Brute, you'll find his war scroll as well as information on building an army of renown entirely made out of him and Trogoths, which could be a fun way to play. You'll also need a Bad Moon Shrine for that. The box kit that King Trugg currently resides in is called Trugg's Trogherd, and you'll find himself with 6 rock-gut Trogoths in there, though there is only one bay to build King Trugg, and boy does he need to have cleanup so that there are not random lines going down his limbs and sides. There are many ways to build the rock-gut Trogoths, which anyone who has had these particular models before would know, since these rock-gut Trogoths are the 2019 ones. But for those who are unfamiliar, you have a lot of leeway with these, where their belly and legs can go with any of the top sections, and the top sections can be split between the left side and the right side, and any of the left arms can go with any of the right arms, so there are some that may be better for others. You'll get to decide. Any of the heads, which there are more than enough of, and there are more than enough various arms for you to choose from as well, can make a fine variety of Trogoths, as you can see, where I've made 6. Though some would definitely be more identifiably the same should you take the fellow holding a goat by the foot or the one with a kit in his hand. Still, I very much like these guys. There's something about their odd shapes that is just cute, and all that texture I would assume make them a blast to paint, though they do require cleanup just like their big Troggoth kings, so you'll have to expect that. Remember, if plastic glue alone doesn't work, you can always use plastic putty from Vallejo to help fill in those gaps, and the plastic putty can go over your acrylic primer just fine and be painted over just fine. I'll add my gap tutorial into the description of this video in case you need it for these guys. Also, this box set with the king and the 6 Trogoths is going to be very limited, so get it while you can. So I'm sure King Trugg will be out later on his own in the coming months if you care to wait. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a like. If you enjoyed my effort, give me a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye! Thank you very much to the patrons and YouTube members that have been supporting the channel all this time. I really appreciate everything that you have offered, and I hope you're having a fantastic hobby time, or at least a great day. And here's one last look at all of the various models in all of the various sizes. Don't you agree that these make fantastic Dungeons & Dragons models on top of being great Warhammer models? I'm excited to use these and paint these all over the place. Even if I weren't playing Orruk Warclans and Gloomspite Gitz, I would love these for some fantastic roleplay.